Hey guys. Okay. How's everyone doing? I'm going to give it just a few more minutes because we're 2 minutes early and I don't want to make anyone, not get any information. But I hope y'all are having a great weekend. I guess I could talk about a couple things. If anyone's on here that didn't have an opportunity to check out the live from Friday, we are now officially registered with the FDA as a seller for functional foods and dietary supplements, which is really, really big. I don't know if that's the same thing as being approved by the FDA. I'm sure we'll find out more, but I think it's really exciting because there's a lot of people who um, consider that a big deal. So very exciting. I also think we might be coming out with our kids gummies soon, which is like super exciting. I saw a teaser on Instagram and I'm stupid excited, you guys. You have no idea. So really, really important things coming. So with that being said, for anyone who has, well, we all have moms in our network, right? So just a sidebar before we actually get started, if you have moms in your network, now would be a really good time to start relationship building. Hey, Kim, how are you doing? I know it's been, a few months since we chatted. Tell me what's up with your life. Simple conversations of bringing people into your life is going to be crucial. So when those gummies do launch, whether it's tomorrow, Tuesday, next Friday, who knows, you've got a solid track of people in your funnel. And I'm sure Kat's going to talk about this. So we are officially recorded. It's 6 p.m. I'm going to get started because I get about 20 minutes before my kids are going to try and come in that door. So I just want to touch on a couple things before I hand it over to Kat. You guys, this is really, really cool. I'm super excited to be doing this call tonight. Kat Griffith did rank as an executive in customer volume last month, which I think is a really, really big deal. I know for me, even in the biggest months I've had, I've never hit 1,500. I've gotten close, but I haven't quite broken that milestone. And the fact that she, among other people, have hit this level, I think is really important. And I know personally, I'd love to find out how to do that. So she's going to be taking it over pretty much for the rest of the call. But I wanted to touch on a couple things first off. There's so many people in here. I'm really excited. This is really exciting. Okay, so I want to say one thing, a couple things that some highlight moments that have happened to me, and I wanted to share my tidbits. You guys don't ever, ever assume just because someone's in network marketing that they don't want what you have, okay? I literally have a customer signing up with me in the next day or two who is a very big deal in her company in Juice Plus. She just got a promotion to like marketing director or something. I don't know what their ranks are like, but she's a big deal in her company. And she literally is like knocking down my door to buy CBD for me, for her kid who's autistic. Don't ever think that just because someone is in our industry that they don't need something from you. Okay. So if you're looking for followers, if you're building relationships, don't ever count someone out just because of that. Okay. We also never know when a leader is looking for a different opportunity. Another really great example, my friend Melanie, who just, I don't know why I just called you Melanie. I guess because it's on the screen. Mel, which is what I know her by, was with Beachbody for a long time. And I followed her for a long time. And we've never really had a industry conversation, but when she hit me up to get some terpenes, I briefly in passing mentioned business and she was like all in. She's like, yeah, I need something that's going to take me to the next level. It's that simple, you guys. Sometimes people are just looking for the next level. Okay. So, organic trust. I'm sure Kat's probably going to touch on this. I can't tell you guys how important that building trust is. I'm all for sending messages and invites. I do it daily. I even send cold messages on Instagram, regularly, just to get my feelers out there. Okay, guys, but I can't tell you how valuable building trust is. I have two people who are getting ready to sign up as ambassadors this month, and a customer, and all three of them this weekend thanked me, like from the bottom of their hearts, for just being myself and not being pushy, not being salesy, just being a friend. Okay. I think it's fantastic that there are people who have the gift to just like randomly, bring in ambassadors. It's not something that I'm gifted with. I personally really love building the relationships, and the people who do join my team are people I have a strong connection with. So for me personally, organic trust is really, really important in my business. And I'm sure a lot of people on this call probably feel the same way. Action creates momentum, you guys. Even if, just constantly being in action, like even if you're not seeing results for weeks and weeks on end, I'm telling you, like one of the girls who's about to join my team I invited her to, over a year ago, I invited her to Q Sciences over a year ago. The other girl who's considering joining me, I probably invited her, I don't know, 6 months ago, and she ghosted me for months. And then just out of nowhere, like hit me up last month and was like, I want to learn more about what you're doing. So all I'm saying is being in your business, taking the action, showing up on power hours, sending the invites, following up. Don't ghost people just because they tell you no. You just don't ever know how valuable that person can be in your life. So that's all I have to say right now. I want to turn this over to Kat. I want her to share her wisdom with us. I'm going to be watching in the chat for any questions. So if you have questions as we go along, please type it in the chat, and I will interrupt Kat and see if we can get those questions answered for you. Okay. Kat, I'm going to mute myself. Okay. It's all yours, girlfriend. I can't hear you, Kat.
How about now?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I got you. Okay.
Should I start over?
Yeah, start over. We didn't hear anything.
That's so funny. Okay, so I am drinking Calm. I have Relax Roll On, and I took Chill, so I should be good to go. Thank you seriously for inviting me to do this. I had not really even put a whole lot of thought into what I do, and truth be told, for a long time in this industry, before I was even with Q, customer acquisition was not celebrated and certainly not really rewarded. And so I had a couple of things that I came in with that I will share with you. So a little bit about my background. I have tried lots of CBD oils, lots of CBD products. My family has a history of arthritis, and I also have chronic health. So I have been into nutrition forever, supplementation, all of that. When I decided to partner with Q, though, so I came in because I heard about the hemp. So I came in based on products. When I decided to join, I knew in my last company, I had had moderate success, not really, didn't make a lot of money, but watched my friends make money. And so I had some real mindset issues. Like some real limiting beliefs that go back to childhood that I had not really let surface. And so, and as a therapist, I bring that out of other people. So I really knew right off the bat that I had, if I was going to do this again, there were a couple of things that were important. Number one, I needed to be a student. And so that means I needed to do trainings, I needed to read books, I needed to journal, I needed to do positive affirmations, and I needed to do all of that while I did everything else. So the second point to that is that I needed to give it time. Those things don't happen overnight. And the day that I was asked to do this call was my 1-year anniversary of being in Q, which is super exciting. It's like a sign from the universe that I'm in exactly the right place, not that I ever questioned it. And the other thing I knew for sure was that I could immediately talk about health. And I could immediately talk about the fuse because that was what I started on. And that's where I started. So I have like 4 points with a whole lot of bullet points underneath it. But the first thing that I think is really important to build a customer base, and truthfully to build the business side too, but really when it comes to customers, they want to know that you're using what you're telling them they need. So build your own belief. Early on, that's hard to do, right? So your own testimony is powerful. Initially, you might have to borrow some. Have them, find them. If you have not heard Tara Truax's testimony about how she came into Q because of her son, find it. I promise you it will inspire you for sure. Initially, so just think about your circle, okay? So right off the bat, I knew people who didn't manage their stress well, who had anxiety and depression, and who had aches and pains, who had health issues. Like that's just in my most immediate circle. I know people with all of these things because we all talk about it. So maybe write those people down. Doesn't mean go hit them up. It doesn't mean go send them a text. It just means write them down so that you kind of have a list going. Weight issues, struggle with their weight, blood sugar, pain and inflammation. I mean, there's a host of things. They get sick often. So the reason that building your own belief is number 1 on my list, because people can feel this. And people can feel if you are coming at them trying to sell them on something. And so I knew right off the bat that I needed to learn to level up my perception of myself and my abilities, but I also knew that people want solutions to their health problems. We all want to feel better. So I would even say that this is secondary to trust. So if someone trusts you, you've built a relationship, and you're excited about something, they're pretty likely to listen. Okay, so number 2, this was a tough one for me, and I didn't really realize at the time that I did this, but now I know in all of my learning that I have been doing this, and that is, who are you talking to? So what I mean by that is, if you're there's a saying in the world, I don't know if it's network marketing industry or not, but if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. And I can hear it now because I've said it, but Kat, everyone needs their health better, right? Or everyone has skin. Yes, that's true, but that doesn't mean everyone relates to me. I can tell you a 20-year-old with a new baby does not relate to me, and she's not going to talk to me about collagen. So, and that does not mean that that 20-year-old with a baby won't find me later, but she is not my immediate group, my immediate focus. Okay. So I'm 52. I mentioned arthritis, aches and pains. I can't tell you how many conversations with people my age we talk about getting older, and like most of the people my age are still really active and wanting to be active and wanting to do the things they've always been able to do. It's starting to hurt a little bit. So like that's my most immediate circle. So some questions to think about: where do your people hang out? Where do you find them? If you're online, are they in certain groups? If you're offline, are you in a meetup group? Are they at your church? Are they at your kids' school? So really do some brainstorming about this and really think about, where do you spend the most amount of your time? And that will lead us to the next thing. Okay. Listen. As a talker, a verbal vomiter, this is a tough one too, but as a therapist, it's a great skill that I learned. And yes, I eavesdrop. So if I'm sitting in a room and I hear this group of women over here talking about whatever, Susie's broken elbow, whatever, I make a note of that. Don't dive in, don't jump, don't be a shark, okay? But listen and kind of think about, like, what was the context of that conversation? How is that impacting her? I've had people that I have done this with over a couple of months before I said, hey, I heard you say that you're really struggling with this one thing. I don't know if it would be something you'd be interested in, but I am partnered with a company that specializes in that thing. I can give you a sample. People love samples. I can't think of a single time that I've had someone turn down a sample. So thinking about listening to the conversations that are happening around you, just paying attention. A lot of times we get very into our own world. We kind of go into our spaces and we just do our thing. And this is a people business. This is a relationship business. And so building relationships with people and noticing the people around you is going to be really key for this. Church, lots of people hear all kinds of conversations in church. So learning how to talk to people, this has been a really big area of focus for me. As I mentioned earlier, I can verbally vomit on people, especially if it's in a text or something like that. Like I'll go, oh, that was too much. So I'm still working on it. Trust me. How not to be spammy, how not to just jump on someone and say, hey, I heard you, I got this thing, right? We don't want to be the guy with the coat and all the watches hanging out of the coat pockets. We want to be the person with the solution to something that someone is struggling with. I remember a woman, I don't even remember what the training was, but she was like, stop being weird. Just don't be weird. Well, some of us don't know how not to be weird. I'm a self-proclaimed weirdo, but I'm going to try not to be weird and spammy. So I'm going to give you an example of how this works in the daily activities is my next category, because like Elizabeth mentioned, we have to be in activity. My activities for customers are a bit different than my overall activities, but really my activities are reaching out to people, and I include both products, and I just want them to check it out, right? And so like, it's not about I'm going for a customer or I'm going for a business builder, because I don't know what people need always. I'm reaching out to new people. I have eliminated most of my really close circles. So but today, earlier, I had 2 experiences just today. So today I do agility with my dog. We compete. And so there's someone that I do agility with who has a dog with a recent injury. And so genuinely, I said, how is he doing? And she said, well, he's been getting kind of sore after. And she goes, oh no, I forgot to give him his medicine this morning. And she's been a customer once before, but she wasn't on the auto ship. She wasn't a consistent. And I said, I wonder if the pet hub would help him, because she knew what I was talking about. And she kind of went, I don't know. I go, well, if I bring you some, would you try it? Sure. Great. I got a little dropper bottle. I put some pet hemp in there, and she's going to get some on Wednesday night. Like, it doesn't have to be weird. It's based on what's going on in front of you, and I'm paying attention. Okay, so daily activities. I don't know if everyone here is trying to build on social media or if some people are building in their day-to-day lives. So I'm just going to go from both perspectives. If you're on social media and you're looking to, I know we've all heard the terms algorithm and all the things about Facebook and Instagram, and these were areas that I was not on the ball in the beginning. I have had to really learn a lot in the last year. And so watching people like Elizabeth and Ashley and Fran and gosh, everyone, like there's a consistent presence there. And so my goal is to post once a day. And I have a group that's a value-based group. It is not a VIP group. I don't really think those are great. But I will post one a day on my main profile page. I just want activity. I don't care if it's about business or what it's about. Sometimes the best way to get people engaged in your profile is to say, do you drink coffee or tea? What time of day do you drink it? Like, it does not have to be about business. But I guarantee you, those people who answer that will see my next post, as long as I'm engaging on their pages as well. Okay. 3+ stories a day in Facebook. Lately, I've been posting it on Instagram and allowing that to go over to Facebook. So double duty, yay. And so that keeps people engaged in your story and in your daily life. And I have gained customers off of stories. So specifically, the main thing I have gotten off of stories is collagen customers. I mean, everyone loves a before and after picture, let's just be honest. So roughly every 3 to 5 posts can be business. Someone recently told me that she likes to make it Sunday evenings because people are thinking about getting up the next day to go to work. The alarm is set. They're grudgingly doing it. And so like, maybe that's your strategy, but have something that you can do that keeps you consistent. I would say the biggest thing is the inconsistency. We go in, we post something, and then we go a couple days and we do our stuff, and then we come back and we post, and why isn't anyone paying attention? Right. And so like people want to know that you're consistent. Some of my customers today have been watching me for 6 months, a year, just like Elizabeth said earlier. So you're really literally just dripping information on people. I love this company. I love the products. I'm a science geek. I believe in it. And so that is so easy to do. That is so easy to just drip information on people. And to Elizabeth's earlier point, I think it's really important that we are building genuine relationships. I'll give you an example. Earlier, I mentioned going into a Facebook group, finding your people, right? You want to be there because you want to be in that circle. Don't be there just to go find customers or go find business builders, because I mean, that's been done, right? That's why network marketing has a bad rap sometimes. And so going in genuinely can help you build relationships, and then people start asking you questions. And so that's true on and off the internet. So be genuine with people, truly be interested in who they are, what they want, what their pain points are, because we have solutions for those. So a couple of questions I wrote down. Are you being consistent? Are you piquing curiosity, or are you vomiting information on people? That, as I've admitted, that's one I have to like keep myself in check on. And so just today, literally an hour before this call, I got a text or a group message from a friend of mine who is not a customer, who I've been dripping on. It was titled CBD, and she plugged someone I've never met into that chat and said, "Hey, Kat, I'm connecting you to Anne because she's looking for A, B, C, and D, and I know that you have it." So I've been dripping on person A, and she has now connected me to person B. So you just do not know when all of the efforts will compile, and it's like kind of like an avalanche, right? You've got this little bitty snowball that just builds momentum and builds mass and gets faster and faster and bigger and bigger. So a couple of things I want you to think about. I think, is this the group that's doing the drink challenges, Elizabeth?
I don't know how many people in here have done a challenge. Ginger and I did one 2 weeks ago, like
Okay.
like mid-March. I know Heather is on here and she talks about the sample group. So feel free to touch in on that if it's something you're
Yeah,
practicing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's because of the chat in Telegram that I learned about it. And I'm really careful with the drinks, because with sampling the drinks, because some people are really finicky about sugar replacements. And
Yeah.
so I want to be really mindful of that. I've become really choosy about who I share those with, but now I just talk about it openly, and now suddenly everyone's taking them. So a couple of women and I, Lisa and Terry, if you're on here, hello, brought me into this small group of us to do a drink challenge, the mood and energy challenge. And literally not one person I've asked has said no. Every single person I've asked to do it has said, of course I'll do it. I would love to. So really, I know that it can be an expense that maybe some people aren't at yet. But if you can slowly build up just a few extra things, then you can begin to sample people. And I order little containers. So I'll put little round containers for the lotions, Excel specifically, and
And
little
these
bitty
little
dropper
tubes.
bottles. Yeah. Oh yeah, cool.
Tubes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so however you can get us like just a couple days worth of something to someone. Now, if I have the money, sure, I'm going to buy someone a month of core because they're going to love it. I mean, that's a given, but I'm not there yet. When I'm at Fran's level, I might be buying people months of core, but in the meantime, I do give them like 5 days, 5 to 7 days worth. Sometimes if there's someone that I really am serious about and think that they could really benefit from it, I will do that. So a couple of other things really quickly that I wanted to cover was one of the things I hear from people is, well, I don't know anybody, or I'm an introvert. And so what I would say to that, review your why. Look at why you clicked accept the day you joined this company. The day you put your credit card in and you said, I'm in. Why? Why was that? What did you want out of it? Because there's something, even if you haven't identified it. And Fran is an introvert, and she will tell you that. And so being an introvert does not mean that you can't build relationships with people. It just means you're going to have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and grow a little bit. Someone asked me earlier about when I put customers in three-way chats or if they are becoming customers. And that's kind of I don't know if it's controversial, but I've heard different things from different leaders. And it sounded like after we switched our comp plan that there was a bit of a pivot. I do not always put customers in three-way chats. If there is some way that they relate to someone, I would put in a three-way chat. So for example, one of my team members has lupus. Absolutely. If someone has an autoimmune disorder, I'm going to plug them in for sure. If they're like, Kat, I want the fuse, I want it right now, I'm not going to leave money on the table to go put them in a three-way chat and stall the process. Like that's not going to happen. I see no benefit to that, because then they're going to get further information and know the people anyway. Areas for growth. Go ahead.
I have a question really quick.
Mm-hmm.
When you do get into a conversation with someone and they, whether you've piqued interest or maybe they commented on one of your posts or however you get into a private conversation, how do you take the conversation at that point? Do you have a system that you use? Like, are you dropping product sheets until you find the right product? Are you dropping testimonies? Like, how do you really hone in on what that person needs?
That is a great question. And do I have a system? I don't know that I have a specific system, but it does go back to listening. I'll ask them, Are you a video person? Are you a document person? Do you like to see like all the scientific facts? I don't know what kind of personality they have often. I don't know those things. So I'll just say, would you rather watch a video or read a piece of paper? Like, you tell me. And so I've done all of that. How I take the conversation there is I just ask a lot of questions. And like I said, guys, I still flub it up. Like, trust me when I tell you, I still mess it up and probably would have double the customers if I was super, if I had a really good system in place. I don't do the same thing every time because everyone's needs are not the same.
Agreed.
So that's really it. I try to just see what they are going to respond the best to. And who knows better but than them.
Okay, perfect. I'm so sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt. Yeah, I know you're
No.
right about to say something else. So
No, I was just about to say, I wrote myself a little note about areas for growth because I started by talking about my own limiting beliefs. And so the amount of, I have like 4 books here, 2 notebooks, all kinds of stuff from thought leaders and coaches. And the books I have right now are Break the Good Girl Myth, Hello Gorgeous, Chasing the Bright Side, Do It Scared. That's my next book. And my little brand book, because here's the other thing that we don't really think about in network marketing. You are your own brand. People are buying from you. They're not buying from Q Sciences. And so understanding that when you're online, when you're posting, whatever, you are a brand. You are your own brand and you get to make that what you want. And so that has been one of my main focuses lately. And so knowing that I don't have to hide parts of myself because every one of us, our own unique things, our own unique traits, our own unique talents. Like Elizabeth and I are going to attract 2 different people, and that's awesome. That's 2 groups of people that are going to get access to these products. And the cool thing about doing that work, the mindset work, has not only increased my ability to create a team, which was the original goal, right? The customers was just something I knew how to do. But I have also, through focusing on consistency, focusing on building a brand, all of those things, it's also increased my customer reach outs, and people are finally starting to reach out to me rather than me reaching out to them. And I know that that's all of our goal, right? I just
yes,
want people to
absolutely.
want what I want. Yeah. So
Attraction
I want what I
marketing,
have.
right? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, we
Yeah.
all just want to be in attraction marketing and have people funnel into us constantly and not ever have to really like work for the
Yeah.
sale, right? Like
Yeah.
that would be ideal.
Absolutely. But the thing about attraction marketing is we have to figure out what we want to attract. And
Absolutely.
a lot of times we come into this not knowing what to do, and so we do nothing, and then we get scared, and it stalls us. And the reality is, there are people in your life right now who need what you have. And if you need to write that on your wall, say it out loud every day, whatever you need to do it. Right here above my computer right here, I have a $10,000 check I wrote to myself that is dated October of 2022. Okay, that's meant to go into my savings account. I have multiply what works, abandon what doesn't, and always know the difference, quote, and a picture of Copper Mountain because my ultimate goal is to get back to Colorado and live in the mountains. And so like every time I'm looking at my computer, these things are staring at me. And so daily habits are really what you focus on, and just know that if you keep putting it out there, here's the funny thing. My first 10 months, I had 1 person on my team, but I had a customer base. And since in the last 2 months, it's kind of like that, oh gosh, what's the Japanese tree that grows? The bamboo tree. Like it
Yes,
spends like
yes.
5 years underground, and then it grows to like 100 feet in a week, some crazy amount. So like, just know that things are happening even if you don't know it.
I love that. Absolutely love it.
And I think that's all I've got, but I'm so open to any questions anyone has, and just know that I'm learning right along with you. I am learning a lot, and probably in a month this will be a whole different list.
Yes, I agree. Always evolving, always evolving. So I want to hyper extend on what two things Kat said: finding your ideal client. I did type in the chat box if you want more information about completing your brand, really honing in on your brand and finding your ideal client, get with one of us. It's something I heavily focus on as I'm creating my brand. And I have a pile of my books that I'm reading that are like completely different than what Kat reads. So please know that if you if you are looking to evolve yourself and you want some suggestions, please let us know. There's so many options to be constantly evolving yourself as in the mindset, because mindset truly is what runs our business. If you're not plugging into mindset, you're going to have a hard run. So I want to think, so, okay, who said I would like to know my brand? All I say is iPad.
While you wait on that, one of the decisions I made a couple months ago was because I was staring at these books, just staring at them and doing 1,000 other things. And I have a 20-minute commute each way. And so I spent the money and got Audible. And I've
Oh, yeah.
listened to like 5 books in the last 2 months. And the one I'm re-listening to now, well, there's so many, but Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. He's cray cray,
I
but
freaking love
awesome.
Grant Cardone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah. And The
the
Big Leap
10X
by
rule is
Gay
good too.
Hendricks is the Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. For those of you who tend to sabotage yourself like myself, that book is a must. It is an absolute must. So
You're gonna have to send me your list. Go for
okay.
No is a really good book too, you guys.
Go for No.
What's the one by Eric Rohr, who's like the network
marketing? Yeah. I'll come up with it while you're asking questions.
Audio is really important for me too. My son's school is 20 minutes away from my home. So 4 times a day, that's what I do in my car is I plug into either Q News, a training that I happen to miss, or I'm listening to an audiobook.
GoPro.
Always. It is GoPro. Okay, GoPro by Eric Rohr. He is literally the epitome of network marketing as a professional. So there's just so many options out there, you guys, like so many options. Just plug into something, because it's when your mind is on that focus. I love what you said about self-sabotaging. It's so easy when we especially when you start to gain momentum and that imposter syndrome starts to set in. I know you know what I'm talking about. You probably had that last month, right? Where you're like, whoa, I'm actually gaining success and I don't know.
Oh no, I had it tonight.
Oh.
What am I doing training people?
And then so we get to this place where the imposter syndrome sets in and we're like, I am not worthy of this level of success or leadership or whatever. For me, it's been leadership. That's been a hard thing for me. Daniel G is also a great person to follow. I love his energy. So, there's so many levels of what we do, and it's just constantly important for us to plug into that. So, if no one has any other questions, I'm going to end this so you all can move on with your evenings. And it will be recorded. And Kat, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me and asking me to. Anyone who wants to reach out individually, please do. I am an open book and I am willing to share whatever I learn, know, commune, whatever. So
perfect. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Bye, guys.